Welcome back, y'all. Welcome to our Kabroda live stream. Hopefully, y'all are doing well today. Had a little bit of a spike down last night during the night. Hopefully, we can get some recovery today. Yeah, hopefully, y'all are doing well. Got some trades in yesterday. There's a little bit of a down run. If you were ready for it, I guess, if you got in. It actually ended up breaking back up through that 21 where we couldn't really take the whole trade. I believe it's this one right here. But we'll zoom in and see. Yeah. Oops. So it's about here we had the live, and then we were talking about taking that down trade. And if you did take it, you would have broke down, basically hit that battle box level that we were talking about yesterday on the live stream, and then we ended up breaking up above that 21. And if y'all have been around for a while, then you'll know we always jump out at the 5-minute 21 when we get the cross, or get the cross and close, because it's more likely going to continue up. This time it didn't, so kind of sad, but not really, because that's our rules and that's what we stick to. But you can see we broke down here after that and ended up retesting again if we were ready for it. Pretty fast retest though. It would have been hard to get into had you not been just sitting here. But even still, I don't know how fast this wick was. So pretty hard to jump into. Not something that you could stay in really, or not something that everybody could just jump into. It depends on how fast you were at just typing in the trade as well. But we ended up actually breaking down from there to our 1030 level, or 110 300, and then we got another retest again. The problem with this one was the fact that we were already under it and had already hit our target. So it's like, are we gonna break up? Are we gonna break down? I don't really know. So we actually ended up breaking down again, hitting that 1030 110 300 level again. So crazy. And then last night we had a major spike down. Well, I guess this morning really is more of what it was. Major spike down to 109 500 really. And then we're now back up about pretty close to where we were yesterday. Really, we haven't really moved all that much. Right at this volume low of yesterday. So we're just gonna jump into it and get our battle box set up. Head on over to my GPT and let's make DMR. You can click on the little prompts that we give you up on the top left. The problem is right now, with the new update, we're still working on it, but it shows that we have, or if you click on it, it'll open up a bunch of different things, and then really it's just like, it's not the DMR that we made, so it's just grabbing random information. Kind of depends on what it's thinking for the day, I guess. It'll just come up with whatever. So it's better to just type in let's make a DMR, because it'll give you our actual Kabroda stuff. Excuse me. We'll just jump into getting our different screenshots, and then we'll head on into our FRBPs, and then we'll go to the 30-minute and on. Actually, before I get my screenshots, I'm gonna go open up Google here, and we're gonna look up cryptocraft.com, and we're gonna go to today, which is 16th. Looks like today we don't really have any big news today. All yellows. So we got an IMF meeting, President Lagarde speaking, and then Government Macklem. I don't know. So either of those, not worried about them really. They don't have any kind of impact. So that is at 11 and 12:30. if you care. Not a big deal. So we'll throw that into our GPT, and then we're just go back to TradeView and start getting our screenshots. So just gonna go through from the 4 hour, starting with the 4 hour and go down. Easiest thing to do is just zoom out a little bit, double click. I am gonna go over here and turn off my lines for the battle box that I did yesterday. Turn them all off. Double click, double click, double click. And then I'm going to get some screenshots here. So 4 hour. Down, we'll get the 1 hour next. If I remember the hotkeys. So moving to 1 hour, get another screenshot there. So Windows key Shift and S. That's how you do that screenshot that we're using. It'll just open up the snipping tool. If you don't remember the hotkey, you can just go ahead and look down here and search and type snipping tool right here, and that'll be the tool that we'll need. So heading to 15, we'll get that screenshot. And last one, 5 minute. Easy. So we got all of our different levels here. So we got 4 hour, 1 hour, 15, and 5 minute. And then moving down, we got some more FRBP levels, 24 and morning. So starting out, we'll just do the 24-hour ones. I am going to go here and type in FRBP levels. And then we'll do 24-hour and morning. And then under these, we'll type volume area high or VAH, point of control or POC, and volume area low or VAL. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that on both of them. So copy that and paste it under morning one as well. And then the last thing I'm going to type for the next thing we're doing is 30-minute candle, and high under that and then low under that. If you don't know how to do the spaces down or the jump down to the next line, you can just hit shift and enter at the same time. That'll get you there. If you hit enter, you'll end up actually sending it in, so you have to hit shift enter to stop it from doing that. Alright, let's get our different levels on the chart. We'll head back to our chart, head down, grab our FRBP levels, so F fixed range volume profile. If you don't remember what that is from the crosshair, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 down, click over, and then it'll be in volume based here. Then all we have to do is, once we get that out, once we get our tool out, we'll go ahead and go to our 1 hour, zoom in a little bit. And we're going to head to the 7 o'clock hour of yesterday. So 15 at 7. There we go. And then we're going to go to today at 7. Just like that. And now you can see we got our 3 different lines on there. So we'll get our different 24-hour lines, and we're just going to throw the volume area high goes on top of the red one, volume area low is on yellow, and volume area low is on blue, and POC is on yellow. So volume area high on red, POC on yellow, and volume area low on the blue. And remember, you don't have to get these nice and tight. They're just resistances and support, which are always zones. So even if you get it off by a little bit of the blue or the yellow or red, then you're basically still pretty close to that resistance point, so you should be fine. Alright, heading back into our GPT. Well, we already got that set up, so we're just going to go over to our line here. We're going to click on settings, go over to coordinates if you're not already there, and then we'll just press Control C on there, copy that up, and then we'll paste it into our 24-hour thing. I'm just going to go down the line. So grab settings, copy, Control C, and then paste it into the PLC. And last one, Control C to the GPT and paste it. Alright, now we can get those morning levels. So the morning levels are just a different time frame on the FRVP levels here. So instead of having the back end at 7, we're going to move the back end to 3 o'clock. That means your back end's at 3 and your front should still be at 7 o'clock today. 3 a.m. today, if you didn't know. And then we're going to go ahead and turn off our 24-hour lines, turn on our morning lines, and we'll just do the same thing, line them up. So red is your volume area high, POC is yellow, and blue is your volume area low. Nice and easy. There we go. Got our levels all lined up. They're all ready to go. Now all we have to do is delete our FRVP zone out of there, and we can go ahead and copy and paste our lines in there. So we'll click on them again, click settings, click Control C, grab the coordinates, and we'll paste them into our GPT. And we'll just go down the line again. So 1, this is 2. Control C there, then to the GPT, paste it in there, and Control C, and to the GPT. There we go. Got our lines in there. So all 6 of our different lines are in there now, all in the GPT, ready to go. The last thing we're going to grab is that 30-minute candle. So we'll go ahead and go back to our trade view here, and we're going to head to our 30-minute chart, and you can go ahead and turn off your lines to make it a little bit cleaner of a chart. And then you're going to hover over that 730 candle, and then under Kabroda right here on my screen there'll be an H and an L with some numbers next to them. Those are going to be the high and the low. You also can try this. We're not 100% sure. We haven't figured out how to make it work for everybody. Spirit Maker and me. Spirit Maker doesn't always work for us, so we'll see. So basically what you do is you don't get on the candle, but you're going to double click right off the candle, and then on the second click of the double click though, you're going to hold it, and that should open up a menu just like this, and that way you can see the high and the low right there. So high is going to be 111,640. Type that in here. So on the high is 111,640. And same thing for the low. Head back, get our chart here. And low is 111,283. 111,283. Boom. Got all of our different levels on there now, so the only thing we have left to do is just send in our thing, and now we can kind of chill and just wait for our market recap to slowly populate in here. If you've never seen one before, we'll have things like a little bit of a market summary, so just some time, some like time frames, I guess, the different time frames that we sent in, with some TA under there. Then you'll get some different levels, trade strategy outlook, so different things that you could be looking for on the trades, impact of your news events. It's right here, plus your news event. So a lot of times this is off a little bit, so make sure you do check your screenshot before you just trust whatever it says in here. Like if you remember, all of them were medium, and now 2 of them are high impact. So not something that you should just go off of really. Below that, execution considerations. If you did throw in some weekly zone reference or weekly FRVP levels, then you can have those in here. You can go ahead and ask the GPT how to do that if you don't know already. And then below that, we got some YAML levels. So if you just want to copy these and paste them into your chart, you can go ahead and do that there. But starting off, we'll start with our different time frames here. So I'm going to go into the time frame, kind of read off what the GPT says, and then we'll kind of break it down with a little bit more TA from me. So we'll head over to our display capture here on our main screen, and we're going to start off with that 4 hour. And I'm going to get it zoomed down a little bit so you can see a little better. There we go. All right. So in the 4 hour, price remains under compression following a sharp liquidation wick. The structure shows a hot lower high pattern below the 50/100 AMAs. MACD histogram is recovering but remains below 0, and RSI is neutral near 42, indicating short-term equilibrium after a downside momentum trade. Context: price still is inside prior 24-hour volume or value, consolidating under 111.6K resistance shelf. Alright, so we're still in this pattern here. I believe I still have my line on there. Maybe. Yeah. So you can see this pattern here. We kind of have a straight flag going over. I believe they call these like rectangles or something, but essentially we have a top that's pretty much flat, which is where this 200 is. It's obviously not exactly flat because it's following price action, but we have a flat top, flat bottom, and we're kind of just bouncing around in between them. So essentially we are in this pattern. Typically these are going to break out to the downside. So you can see as we're coming into this pattern, we got a breakdown, and then from that pattern we should see more of a breakdown. So we should see possible breakdown all the way to 98 is possible. Is this going to break down? We don't know yet. We'll have to see how price action kind of trades in the next couple of days. As for the MACD, you can see that we have just flipped green. So we're starting to flip red again after getting down to this bottom line of our pattern, and now we're starting to flip back to green. So see if we can get a possible up run here. RSI is low, so it's a good possibility we'll see that. We do also have bearish divergence. So you can see we flatlined here on the bottom. And then if you go back to when we spiked down here all the way up to today, you can see we have a uptrend here, even though all of the trend on the chart is flat. Yeah, only bullish divergence here on the chart, so that's also another good sign that we might get a breakout instead of a breakdown. Not confirmed yet until we actually do it, but that is something we could be looking at. Moving on to the 1 hour, you can see our flag here. We're gonna go ahead and read our battle box, what the battle box has to say. So for the 1 hour, substructure mirrors the 4 hour repeated rejection from 111.7 to 112K zone after lower bands around 110.7K continue to attract bids. EMA stacked bearishly. 200 is above the 100, and that's above the 50. That is true. And momentum oscillators are calling upwards, suggesting an attempt to build a base. Nice. So same thing, got that breakdown. Looking in that pattern, you can see we're kind of consolidating really heavily around here, but every time we've kind of besides this one, I guess, every time we've dropped below that, we've wicked back through it. And even here we kind of came down and then pushed back up. So 4 hour, you would see more of a wick there. And then on the MACD, you can see that we flipped bullish recently. So we're still kind of climbing up there. We are above our 21 on the 1 hour here. RSI is also same thing, above, or looking like we're going to continue the upside with the slower moving average still climbing up. There's also some bullish divergence here. You can see got upwards price action from here, and if you look here, we really almost have downwards price action there, downwards to flat, and then here we got upwards price action. So more bullish divergence here. There's not really bearish divergence, and there's sort of some like shorter term bearish divergence, but there's also that really long bullish divergence. So will they cancel each other out? Possibly. We'll see as we continue on. But there is kind of both. Here at the top, we're kind of flat. Well, not really flat. We're technically down, so it's not heavy divergence by any means. You can see if we go to the chart up here, we got a downtrend, and the same points we got a downtrend, and then here we got more of a really downtrend still, but almost flat. So could be some divergence, could not be. That one's kind of iffy. We definitely have some bullish divergence, a little bit of bearish divergence, so we'll see if we can get the which one kind of wins out, I guess, on there. Heading to the 15, we get a compression candle at 111.0k to 111.4k. Mixed signals, MACD and Stochastics are rising, crossing bullish, but under macro resistance. Short-term liquidity sweeps likely before the trend continues. So we just retested the 15,200 here. Broke up here, tested it, already tested it about 3 or 4 times. So like 1, 2, 3, 4. At least recently. I mean, obviously we tested it before that. But we were above the 1521 just a minute ago. And now we're starting to kind of break down. You can see our indicators are also showing that we're breaking down. So will we come down and retest that 110 300 level, or are we this is gonna be the breakout even farther? We'll see. For right now, the other thing that we can look at too is that there's a lot of compression here on all the moving averages, so you can see them all coming together. There's not any divergence really. Yeah, there's a little, but there's a little right here, but you could see that fired out, so that could have been the play out of the divergence there. Yeah, nothing to write home about, I guess. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. Nothing looking more like a downside on the 15, but we'll have to kind of see how price action plays out. Heading to the 5-minute. So the 5-minute, we just broke our 2200. We just broke our 200 here. We just closed we closed below it just a second ago, looking like we could possibly continue down. See if we'll actually get another close below it or not. Kind of need this one to confirm, because it's not a great close below the 200 here. On the indicators, you got MACD curling to the downside. RSI is also curling downside, starting to get sub 50 level. Not quite yet, but we will be soon. And then you can see Stochastics are actually ready to take an up run, so kind of contradicting each other. We'll see what ends up happening. Stochastics could also stay down here for a little bit before we start to break up, like stay down here a little bit, let all the rest of the indicators kind of break down and settle out, and then we'll see that up run here is possible. That's kind of the possibility here. And we'll check the 15. 15 does show that we have some more room to go down on the stoaches, at least. Shorter time frames like this, stoaches are better, so that is a pretty decent possibility. We'll continue down and kind of get these stoaches down here at the bottom before we see the 5 minutes start to flip up the other way. All right. So we'll move back to our GPT here. Different levels, if you need them, are right here. Go ahead and pause and we'll take a screenshot if you'd like to get those. Moving down, we got different triggers and stuff, and we're going to make a battle plan, so we'll skip this section for now. Those news events we already kind of talked about. There's nothing really going on today, nothing to worry about. So some things to consider while you're looking for execute. Normally the low volume, well, it says pre-news, but we know normally the low volume pretty much all day. 15-minute for directional confirmation, 5-minute for entry timing. Yep, that's normal. So you want to make sure that you're looking for, you're watching the 15, you get that like close and confirmation that we're kind of going to continue to the upside, and then we'll wait for the 5 minute to show us that retest when we can enter in there. They've got a macro wall at 111.8k, volume, warning volume, and macro reaction zone. So we need to expect liquidity if we are tagged pre-NY. Not 100% sure what that means. So nothing I would really worry about. Sounds like it's getting a little too far into the market details there, to me at least. And then if there are some levels here if you're interested in getting those, but we're just gonna head on and start doing our battle plan. So for those of you who don't know, a battle plan is just gonna be basically the different trades and strategies that we could employ today. Kind of just written down and easy to read. Typically, they're more or less the same strategies that we always try to use on these days, but sometimes they're a little bit off, a little bit different. So we like to show them on the stream, kind of talk through them, see what we're up against today. We're just gonna copy this. I don't know why it asked to do this. That new update's throwing it off. There we go. So we got the battle box, blah, 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 directional bias anchor. Yeah, we don't need any of that. Here we go, trigger conditions. So if we get that breakout, I'm guessing it's just going to say if we get the breakout above the trend line here, above our volume area high, I'm guessing. Yeah. So if we get that breakout above our volume area high, it'll mean we break that 15,200, which will be some pretty good resistance. So if we can get that break up there, break that breakout, and looking for an up trade targeting 111.8. That's literally where the thing is. 112, those our next target. And honestly, you could target up here, especially if you're going out to that 4 hour, and where's the, yeah, you could honestly be targeting this 159 area. I'd probably say, okay, like, let's go back and check it out. So we got some resistance here and some resistance here. So you could be, yeah, first target probably 112, 113-ish area. 112 for if you were just targeting that 21 on the 4 hour. That's kind of look for some resistance there at 112. One, it's a big number and our big fat number, and then two, it's a pretty close to this 21 on the 4 hour, so it's something to kind of watch out for. Next, I would target this here at 1300, and then lastly, I'd be looking at this top of our grid pattern kind of thing, like right where the 200 is on the 4 hour. If we do end up break through this level, then I'd be looking for something more like this, possibly some more 200s and stuff in the middle, so I'd have to kind of go through and check. Possibly like that. Maybe it's something to watch out for, that 1 hour 200 there. Not a lot of resistance, honestly, after that. That's kind of what I'd be looking for, is that next high there, that 15.9, 15.8 level. Kind of the next area to be targeting there. And then if we get the opposite, if we get a flip down to the downside, continue down in the way that we were going. Where's our... I didn't turn it on. There we go. If we get that break here and break below the volume area low here on... No, well, the 15. If we get the 15 close and then the 5-minute retest, that's when we'd be getting in, is on that 5-minute retest. So that's what we're kind of looking for with both of these. So 15-minute close below the volume area low, and then we'd be going back to the 5-minute, waiting for that retest here. So for example, if we're not going to use the POC, but if we were using the POC, you can see we got the 15-minute break here. I believe we closed below it. And then right now you're getting that retest on the 5-minute. So this is when we'd be jumping in. Obviously, probably won't work out because it's the wrong resistance point. You could technically use this with any resistance, but the volume area low and volume area high for the morning are going to be one of the stronger ones. 24 hour and such, any of those lines are going to be stronger as well, but this is kind of one we're looking for it to break out of before we take a trade here. The other level you could be looking for is that breakdown. So if we do get that breakdown, that retest, close above there, we'll be targeting 110.6. So essentially we're just going to kind of target these POCs. So POC here, and then below that, here at the 24-hour volume area low is where we're going to be. That'd be our next target there. So yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at for today. That's kind of the trades we're looking at getting into. If y'all are watching, make sure you watch for those 2 trades to kind of pan out. Yeah, we have a recap coming out at 10. So if you didn't have time to watch the market yesterday, or you just want to learn a bit about trading, we got that coming out. So make sure you check out that if you want to have a little bit of recap of yesterday, a little bit of just TA in general. So that's always good to kind of listen to people that have been doing this a little bit. Helps you learn a little bit. Other than that, we got our X account, which we'll be posting some levels on from the live stream. So if you want to check that out, those will be on there. Other than that, we will catch y'all. We will catch y'all next week for our live stream on Tuesday at 8 o'clock. So make sure y'all catch that. If you are worried about it, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and also hit the bell notification. So that way next week you can be sure to catch our video. Thanks for watching, and we will catch y'all next week.